Okay. Mukbang?
Hey guys, this is Andong. So a while back I made this video about Berlin-style Döner kebab. And one of the top comments suggested that I should make a video about the Berlin currywurst, the other iconic food of my hometown, Berlin. Well, challenge accepted. Today we'll learn all about the Berlin currywurst and how to make it from scratch. As for the origins of currywurst, as always, there's a little bit of controversy there. But for the most part, people agree that the OG currywurst was invented in Berlin in 1949 by a lovely lady named Hertha Heuwer. Story goes that one rainy day she was bored and started playing around with a bunch of spices and ingredients, and she struck gold with this sauce and spice combo that became the iconic Berlin currywurst. Meet my friend Jong-han. He is a born and bred Berliner and a huge foodie too. In fact, he even runs this really cool Korean street food place in Berlin. Definitely drop by if you're in town. So let Jong-han and me take you on a little research trip to Konopkes Imbiss, one of the most famous currywurst places in all of Berlin. Did you see how fast they were in serving this? This was on the table before you were done saying currywurst. What is this gloriousness that we ordered?
I think this is the potatoes with vinegar, this one with mayo, and this is the potatoes with yogurt. Yeah, right, with yogurt. And we have 2 types of currywurst with rice, mayo ketchup, German coleslaw, carrot, apple coleslaw.
What should we try first? What's smiling at you?
For me, for sure, is that the currywurst.
How about the sausage? Like the skin on or skin off sausage? Which one is your favorite? I don't even remember.
For me, it's more skin on.
Skin on?
It's gonna for sure skin on because you have this crispiness on the outside and the delicious sausage taste inside. So it's a perfect match to have it.
Should we begin? I'm getting hungry. So first bite should be sausage. Cheers, buddy. Wow. It's good quality sausage. I can't complain for sure.
The fries are really also crispy.
Are you a fries with mayo person or a fries with ketchup person?
I'm the fries with mayo.
Alright, we're back at the studio, and now that we know what a real currywurst looks like, let's make a currywurst ourselves. So let's talk about meat first. Traditionally, you'll want to go for some kind of fatty pork. Sometimes up to 70 or 80% pork belly is used. But today, I'm just gonna go for my favorite cut, pork neck. If you don't eat pork, go for beef, and if you don't eat meat, you can actually try making a seitan sausage like this. It's pretty good actually, just saying. So there is no standard recipe for a currywurst sausage itself. I always feel that it's really close to a German bratwurst, which has this subtle but very distinct flavor combination that you find in a lot of German brewed sausages. Our base will be made from salt and sugar, and to that we're gonna add ground caraway seeds, a bit of dried marjoram for that classic flavor, a little bit of white pepper, a bit of ground nutmeg, and really just a pinch of clove. This stuff is really powerful. And there we have a hearty classic German-style bratwurst seasoning. Okay, the meat cooled down nicely, which means it's time to throw it into my food processor along with a few ice cubes and 1 tablespoon of our bratwurst seasoning. So in industrial productions, a few chemicals will be added at this point. I don't want to mess with that, but luckily there is a natural workaround. Add 1 egg white and process your meat for a few minutes, adding splashes of cold water until you get a mostly homogeneous paste. Transfer your mixture to a bowl, and there is your bratwurst sausage. Except now we have to put it into an actual sausage. Let's do this the proper way first. We need a sausage casing, and the classic choice is pig intestine. Don't worry, I'll have an easy at-home version for this in a second. Yeah, let's not sugarcoat this, it is basically an asshole. That is why we wash and soak it in warm water before using. In the meantime, meet my ghetto sausage machine. I found this thing on Amazon and it wasn't crazy expensive actually. I'll link it below if you're interested. Like, I know this is not professional grade stuff, but I'm actually pretty surprised how well it works. I mean, come on. Considering I'm pretty much doing this for the first time, So get it nice and even inside, and then tie a knot and twist the sausages into segments. Ooh. Well, hello there. I'm actually kind of proud of myself. This looks pretty legit. Okay, I promised an easier version to make this, didn't I? Like one that doesn't involve assholes. And the good news is, yes, there is another much easier way to make an authentic Berlin-style currywurst. You see, Germany used to be a divided country, and thus two different styles of currywurst emerged. In the eastern part, sausages were actually produced without any casing, and that was mostly because it was cheaper this way, but it also results in a much fluffier and tender sausage. There are a lot of good currywurst places in Berlin that offer this option, and in fact, a lot of people prefer it this way. So to make the communist currywurst, I'm going to fill the meat mixture into a Ziploc bag, then cut a hole in the corner and pipe a sausage onto parchment paper. Then I'm gonna roll it up, twist the ends shut, and then work that shape a little bit. Beautiful. So the original currywurst is a cooked sausage, not smoked, not cured, which is pretty good news for us, I guess. All we have to do is drop our sausages into 70-degree water for 7 minutes. Just keep it hot but below the boiling point, and they should come out cooked through. Let those cool down for a little bit and they are good to go for the final preparation. Of course, you could also store them in the fridge or freezer right now. Now, some people think the sauce is actually ketchup, which it's definitely not. The very original currywurst sauce called Chillab, which Herta Heuwer invented back in the day, well, that was her personal secret. But that's okay, actually. These days, a lot of the good currywurst places, they pride themselves on having their own secret sauce. So here's a great basic version for us to get started with. We're gonna begin with concentrated tomato paste and a teaspoon of curry powder. Give those just a quick fry to release the flavors a little bit, and now add some apple sauce. This is kind of a secret ingredient that is added for good texture and natural sweetness. Now you're gonna add some Worcestershire sauce and balsamic vinegar. Add a bit of salt and sugar as well, and then dilute with water until you get this saucy consistency. Keep in mind though that this sauce will thicken up a bit once it has cooled down. And this, you guys, is our homemade currywurst sauce. It's gonna be much better than ketchup for our purposes. Do feel free to play around with the spice mix that you're gonna add to the sauce. It's a great way to really make it your own. Speaking of which, you did not think I was gonna make my own sausage and then add store-bought curry powder, did you? Did you? In case you didn't know, there is no such thing as curry powder in Indian cuisine. Instead, you have a whole bunch of different masalas, which literally translates to spice mix. So here's how to make a masala that comes really close to what we understand as curry powder in most Western countries, except it's much better. For my signature currywurst curry powder, I like to use mustard seeds, coriander seeds, fenugreek seeds, cumin seeds, fennel seeds, and a bit of salt and sugar seeds. Heat your spices in a pan on medium heat until nice and toasty, and then transfer to a spice grinder, which, okay, I actually bought a coffee grinder just for this purpose. They're surprisingly affordable and they work super well. A link is below as always. Of course, you can also grind your spices by hand in a mortar, but you know. Finally, transfer your spices into a jar, add turmeric powder for that classic color and taste, mix, and here is your homemade curry powder. We have our sauce, we have our spice blend, and here we have 3 different types of sausages. 2 that we have just made ourselves, and then the third one is the notorious Volkswagen currywurst. It breaks all sorts of rules. For example, it's smoked, but it's pretty classic, and I want to have a side-by-side comparison with an industrial product. So let's get started. Or let's get finished. What we will need first is a frying pan in which we're going to heat lots of oil on medium to medium high. I know this is a lot of oil, but this is just how it's traditionally done. Currywurst sausages are almost deep fried. Before you add your sausage into the pan, you've got to make sure to make a few incisions on one side, if not both. If you don't do that, you're in for a fat explosion, so be warned. Plus it actually looks and tastes really nice. Now, fry those sausages from both sides, cut side down first, and you gotta have patience. This can easily take 10 to 15 minutes. But once done, cut your sausage into bite-sized pieces because, yeah, that's how we roll in Berlin, and then drizzle them with delicious homemade currywurst sauce and sprinkle with your magic masala of choice. For your side dish, you can go fast food style and add fries with mayo, or you can go old school with a classic potato salad. A classic Berlin-style potato salad is traditionally made without mayonnaise, just oil and vinegar. And my girlfriend Clara, she makes the best, or technically it's her mom's recipe, but anyway, I'm gonna be sharing that over on Patreon. Thank you so much to everybody supporting me there. You're the best. But last but not least, you can also simply enjoy your currywurst with a freshly baked Schrippe. That's what we call a bread roll in Berlin. Now, make sure to subscribe to my channel for almost weekly food inspiration from all over the world. I have a lot of really cool content planned this year. You will not regret it. But now, let's dig in. So I gotta be honest, this took ages to make. It's almost midnight. Just glorious. Another piece. And the curry spice mix, I tell you, this is good. Out of all these options, kind of love the fries the most.